Hello, my name is Keshwani. There's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the ACT. We have been solving ACT math problems out of this book here, the official ACT prep guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase it immediately. You're going to need it. The problems that we're about to solve are the ones that you will find on page number 311. Please turn to it, page number 311, and today is our lesson number 28. On page number 311 we have, set of 4 problems, 32, 33, 34 and 35. Actually set of 3 problems, only 3 problems, 32, 33 and 34. And all of those 3 problems deal with the graph and the equation that is given on the previous page at the bottom of page number 310. We are told that the equation of the curve is, equation of the curve that is given to us is y equals to 0.005x squared minus 2x plus 200, and the graph looks something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all in the 50s, 50, 100, 150 and 200. Similarly 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 200. So it lies between 200 and 200. This is point F. This is point G. And the graph that we're talking about, let me put it in a different color. The graph that we're dealing with looks something like this. The curve. And that's the curve we're dealing with, and the equation that we're looking at here, this equation pertains to this curve here. Let's begin the process. The very first question is asking us what's going to be the value of y if x happens to be 20. If x happens to be 20 somewhere here, what's going to be the value of y? When x is equal to 20, how much is y? Very simple, very straightforward question. When x is equal to 20, how much is y? So let's find out, shall we? All we have to do is substitute the value of 20 in this equation here for x. Wherever we see x, we replace with 20 and figure out what y turns out to be. Let's do it. Y would equal to 0.005 x squared, which is 20 squared, minus 2 times x, which is 20, plus 200. How do we deal with this thing? Well, it's very straightforward. See? 0.005. I hope you are able to see that 5 is 5 obviously. 0.5 is same as 5 over 10. Of course we know it. 0.05, we are moving it 2 decimal places, 1, 2, so it's 1 over 100. And similarly, 0.005, here we have 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, is same as 1 over 1000. In other words, 5 over 1000, it should say 1 over 1000, it should say 5 over 1000. What the hell is wrong? What the hell is the matter with me? I don't know. So if you have 5, and if you divide it by 1000, then essentially what we do is we take our 5, the decimal place is right here, is 5.0, it's here, we move it 3 places, 1, 2 and 3, 0, 0, and it becomes here. It becomes 0.005, which is same as 5 over 1000. Let's write this in fraction. Let's write that as 5 over 1000. What happens? 5 over 1000. 20 squared is same as 20. Let me start from in here so that everything lines up properly. So 5 over 1000. 20 squared is same as 20 times 20. So that takes care of the first part, first term here. Then we have minus 2 times 20, which is 40, plus 200. Let's continue, shall we? We see a 0 here, we see a 0 on the bottom. So if we divide top and bottom by 10, we can knock out 1 0. Again, because we have this flare for the dramatics, let's do it in a different color. So this 0 will get knocked out with that 0. We can divide top and bottom by 10 one more time. We can divide top and bottom by 0 one more, or 10 by one more time, and that 0 will knock out with this 0. And what are we left with? what we are left with on the top, is 5 times 2. Oh, 5 times 2 is 10. And here I see a 10. So this 10 will knock out with this 5 and this 2. Only thing that we're left with at this story, only thing that we're left with at this point in the story is this 2 right here. That's it, we're done. That's it, we're done. So we have 2 minus a 40 plus the 200. 2 minus a 40 is negative 38. So what we're looking at is 200 minus 38. How much is 200 minus 38? Well, how the hell do I know? I know 200 minus 40 is 160. That I do know. 200 minus 40 is 160. Because this is 2 less, instead of 160, it's going to be 2 more, 162. Because we are subtracting 2 less than a 40. That's it, that's your answer. G is your answer. Let's move on to the next one. In the next question, they're asking how long is F to G. That one was question number 32. In 33, they're asking us how long is this segment F to G. This segment right here. How long is this segment F to G? Well, that's your hypotenuse. We're dealing with a right angle triangle where this side is 200, where this side is 200, this side is 200, and we're being asked to figure out the hypotenuse. It's very simple. So here it is. Here is our triangle. This is F, this is G, this is 200, 200, and let's call that X. Simple application of Pythagorean theorem will do the job. So that tells us that x squared equals 200 squared plus 200 squared. 200 squared plus 200 squared. Well, if I have an apple and if you give me another apple, I have 2 apples. 200 squared plus 200 squared is going to be 2 times 200 squared. 2 times 200 squared. We are not interested in x squared, we want the x, so we take the square root of the whole thing. And how much is the square root of 200 squared? The square root of 200 squared is just going to be 200. So that takes care of this part. And then we are left with square root of 2. This is our unknown quantity, 200 times square root of 2. Now what I want you to do at this point, I'm going to continue here, because I want to make a little bit more, I want to make a little bit fuss about square root of 2. What can I make a fuss about it? Actually, it turns out I can make a fuss about it here. You have to know the approximate value of square root of 2, square root of 3, and square root of 5. You have to know those by heart, they come in quite handy. What I want you to do is, I'm going to actually put it down, or can I put it someplace prominent? I hope this wasn't too much of a mess here. This looks very messy. Let me rewrite it one more time. What it was 5 over 1000 times 20 times 20. Okay, without the colors. So if you divide top and bottom by 10, we can knock out this 0. Divide top and bottom by 10. One more time, we knock out this 0. We have 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10, and we have 10 on the bottom. So that 10 cancels out with this 5 and a 2, and we are left with just 2. That's what we came up with. I would like you to watch a video. And the video is T's Math Day 3. Type in this tag. Don't worry about what T's is. It's no concern of yours. Math is math. It doesn't matter what exam that is. Go to that particular video. Just type in T's Math Day 3. Watch that video. Make sure you watch that video in its entirety. What does it mean to watch it in entirety? Which means watch the entire thing. Make sure you watch it until it ends. Towards the very end, you will learn how to approximate root 2, root 3, and root 5. And after you have watched that video, you will have learned by that time. That square root of 2 is 1.4. And had we known that thing right from the very beginning, we would have done long time ago. So x equals to 200 times 1.4. Now x, we cannot say x equals 2 because it's not the exact value. The square root of 2 is not exactly 1.4, it's approximately 1.4. So we have to go back here and fix that. X is approximately 200 times 1.4. Well, 14 times 2 is 28. 14 times 2 is 28, so it's going to be 280. It's going to be 280 approximately. X is approximately equal to 280. That's your answer. And that's answer choice D. That's the answer choice D. Let's move on then. We made a lot of fuss about that. Let's move on. Make sure you watch this video. It's very crucial. Let's move on to the next question. Number 34. In number 34, we're looking for the area of the shaded region. Area of the shaded region. And the shaded region is this part right here. This part we're talking about. Well, how do we find the area of that region? Well, again, it's very difficult to figure out the area of this region by itself. What we're going to do is figure out the area of the triangle. Area of this particular triangle. Let's erase this thing. Triangle F, G, and O. The area of the triangle FOG, O for the origin, you understand? Equals to 1/2 base times height. 1/2 base, how much is base? Oh, base is 200. How much is height from here to here, from 0 to F? It's 200. That's it, we are done. 1/2 times 200 times 200. I see a 2 here, I see 200 on the top. We divide top and bottom by 2, the 200 becomes 100. So what we end up is 200 times 100, which is same as 200, and you stick two more zeros right there. There you go. And that's the triangle FOG. Now what does that tell us? If the area of the triangle FOG, let's erase all of this thing we don't need. If the area of the triangle FOG is 20,000, then the shaded region has to be less than 20,000. Why does it have to be less than 20,000? Because because the shaded region falls below this line FG. It falls below it. So the answer is that it has to be the area of the shaded region is less than 20,000. I really need the room, so I have to write somewhere. Area of the shaded region is less than 20,000, right here, less than 20,000, because it lies, the shaded region, because the curve, by it I mean the curve, because the curve lies under FG. Now the only reason we are making such a big freaking deal out of it, big fuss out of it, is because of the way the answer choices are presented to us. Make sure you read carefully. The answer is F, not G. The only difference between F and G is that in G they said it because the curve lies over FG. The curve does not lie over FG. FG is right here. The curve lies under FG, and therefore the answer is F. The answer is F. We don't have to worry about the other answer choices because they tell us that the area of the shaded region is more than 20,000. Obviously, the area of the shaded region is not more than 20,000 because the area of the triangle is 20,000. And this is less than that. It's missing all of this part. It's missing all of this area. So area of the shaded region is less than 20,000. 20,000 was the triangle OFG. That was it. I will see you tomorrow on day number 29, where we will continue this journey with question number 35. Okay? Bye now.